Hello, chat. How is everyone doing? Hola, hello, bonjour, konnichiwa. How is everyone doing? Why did I say it like that? Nah. ¿Cómo está? Bien, bien, bien. Bien, ¿y tú? Bien, bien. Perfecto. School is crazy. I'm doing pretty good in school. I'm doing pretty good. I don't know how crazy it is for you. It's not that crazy. I mean, there's not that much drama that happens. There's not that much drama happening, but you know, it's probably gonna happen. Oh, dang. The police is crazy. Blanco, maybe? Or negro? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it's either white or black. It's like, actually, maybe black, but I just like the shade of white. I don't know. Faster goes so fast. Okay. Whoa, that was bad kickoff. Oh my gosh, I almost double tapped. Whoa, bro, I can't hit a kickoff. Got it. I'm laggy because I have a lot of tabs open, so I need to start closing my tabs. Right, because I don't need the music, I just prefer it. So it puts a little bit more input lag. Whoa, I'm so laggy. I might turn it off. Do you play Pokemon? Not anymore. I don't like it anymore. It's not my game style. That's how I'll paraphrase it. What the? How does that happen, bro? Oh my. I rage quit, bro. Bro, I need the titanium my zombies, bro. Like, I need them, bro. Bro. How do I? Hold up, yeah, I'm gonna search up how do you click aerial. That's me.
How to fast aerial in Rocket League. Instead of double jumping, then boosting, first hold boost, go for a jump, then point your car up, then go for another jump to be faster in the air.
I'm going to show you what it looks like when somebody tries to double jump on their fast aerial. This isn't wrong because they're not holding down their jump long enough. It's just slightly slower because the order is wrong. I'm going to show you somebody fast aerialing, but instead of double jumping, they jump, tilt back, and then use their second jump. The reason a jump, tilt, jump is better than just jump, jump.
Wait a
It
minute.
allows your boost to start propelling you up sooner for a longer total duration over the course of your fast aerial. Do this right, and your fast aerial will be quicker than 90% of players below Grand Champ, guaranteed. I'm going to show you what it looks like when somebody tries to double jump on their fast aerial. This isn't wrong because they're not holding down their jump long enough. It's just slightly slower because the order is wrong. I'm going to show you somebody fast aerialing, but instead of double jumping, they jump, tilt back, and then use their second jump.
What aerial do most pros use to go for aerials?
One of my favorite ways to practice aerial mechanics is to go into free play, double tap launch ball on the D-pad, and from there you can practice whatever you want. One of my favorite ways to practice aerial mechanics.
My rule is if you're doing any small adjustment or ground recovery, I recommend you use joystick air roll. If you look at my controller overlay, my joystick air roll is R1. Any long-term aerial, think I'm taking off and I'm taking the ball into the air right now,
How to fast aerial in Rocket.
Do most people use directional arrow left and right, or just one direction arrow? What?
You read the title. Today, I'm going to show you what I think is the fastest way to air dribble that, if you follow, will take you less than 6 minutes to learn. I've broken this down into 3 simple steps, plus I'll be showing you the 3 most common mistakes I see new players make when trying to learn. So I guarantee, even if you're completely fresh watching this, you'll have everything you need to pull off your first air dribble by the end of the video. By the way, if you're new here, my name's Luke, and I know this works because I'm a coach with over 4,000 hours myself, and I actually run Rocket League's #1 live coaching program where we've coached over 2,000 players called the Grand Champ Roadmap. Inside, we specialize in taking gold through champ rank players like you watching up to Grand Champ in just 6 weeks or less. If you didn't catch it, we overflowed on enrollment last season, so when this video drops, we're going to be restocking just 100 spots for upcoming spring launch. So if you're on the hunt for GC and you want in on one of those first 100 spots before we sell out and go on pause until May, DM me on Discord with the keyword IN and we can talk details about how to get you in time. I'll have my Discord first link down below, and let's go over the fastest way to air dribble. Okay, so jumping straight into the steps, we're going to be handling everything in free play. That way you can set up the air dribble from start to finish. We'll be covering 3 steps. Number 1, setup. 2, adjustment. And finally 3, the carry. Alright, so first things first, when you land in free play, you're going to want to use the up command on your D-pad to spawn the ball on your car and get it rolling over to the wall. There are 3 keys to an effective setup. Number 1, you may have noticed there's these hexagons sketched into the wall. We want to make our first touch off the wall about halfway up the first one. Reason being is because if we hit the ball too low, we'll have to use extra jumps to try to correct, or if we hit the ball too high, we risk driving it into the ceiling when we try to set up. Key number 2, you want to keep about 1 car length of space between the ball and your car before you hit it. The mistake a lot of new players will make when they're driving the ball over to the wall is they'll be glued to it and they won't separate before they get their first touch off the wall. Instead, before the ball reaches the wall, we want to slow down to allow about 1 car length of space between us and the ball. This is going to make it so that our first touch puts the ball on track with the center of the net, and we have to do the least correction possible. Finally, for step 3 of the setup, we want to jump exactly when we hit the ball. If you jump before you hit the ball, you risk just jamming it into the wall and not getting any separation. And if you jump after you hit the ball, you can catch up to it, but it's going to be harder and you risk running out of time. So to recap, for an effective setup, you want to spawn the ball on your car, drive it to midfield, allow about 1 car length of space, and aim to jump and connect with the ball at the exact same time that it crosses about half a hexagon up the wall. If you do this correctly, the ball should be on line to fly directly at the center of your opponent's net if you didn't touch it. If the ball's flying too far across the field, it means you got too much under the ball on the setup. And if it flies too much into their corner, it means you got too far behind the ball on the setup. Practice the setup and nothing else until you can get the ball going into your opponent's net. Then we'll move on to step 2, the adjustment. The second thing you need to master for the air dribble is this quick air roll adjustment that happens after you make your first. The reason being is because if you don't master this air roll adjustment and you just try to fly the ball upside down, controlling your car like this is going to be very confusing. So if we're going off of the left wall, all you need to do for the air roll adjustment is simply hold neutral air roll and pull to the left and slightly down on your joystick to get your wheels facing down and your car in line with the ball. This is going to allow us to boost and follow through with the carry. Now this point is actually where I see the second most common mistake for new air dribblers, and that's boosting through the adjustment. If you hold down boost this entire time while you're adjusting your car, you're going to overshoot the ball and you're going to get stuck pushing it down into the ground. Make sure after you jump, boost, and get that first touch into the air, you let go of boost while you're doing the adjustment. This is going to allow the ball to fly up and get above you so you can follow it up smoothly for step 3. Step 3, the carry. If you've made it to this point, the ball should be up in the air, flying towards the center of your opponent's net with your car facing dead onto the ball. At this point, the only last thing to do is make sure you stay under the ball and guide it forward while staying close. The key here, and the final place that most players go wrong on the air dribble, is boosting through the carry. You actually don't want to boost the entire length through your carry, because if you do, you're going to push the ball away and make touches that are too heavy and lose control of the ball. Instead, as you guide the ball forward, you want to practice what's called feathering your boost. This is basically just quick tapping your boost rather than holding it all the way through. That way you can match the speed of the ball and guide it gently into the opponent's net. If you do this right, you'll be able to get 5, 6, or 7 touches on the ball before you take it in, and that...
How do you get good aerial or air? How do you get good air rolls in Rocket League?
The best tips you should know as a beginner. Use one of a pro player camera settings. It's definitely better than yours. Holding jump makes your car go higher. Tapping jump. Holding jump. Change your controller dead zone to 0.05. You have 1.5 seconds to use your second jump. Best tips you should know as a beginner. Use one of a pro player camera settings. It's definitely better than yours. Holding jump makes your car go higher. Tapping jump. Holding jump. Change your controller dead zone to 0.05. You have 1.5 seconds to use your second jump. Best tips you should know as a beginner. Use one of a pro player camera settings. It's definitely better than yours.
Ugh, this sucks.
Holding jump makes your car go higher. Tapping jump. Holding jump. Change your controller dead zone to 0.05. You have 1.5 seconds to use your second jump. Best tips you should know as a beginner. Use one of a pro player camera settings. It's definitely better than yours. Holding jump makes your car go higher. Tapping jump.
I forgot to take off camera shake.
Change your controller dead zone to 0.0.
Need a fun way to practice air roll, but don't have access to Steam Workshop? Max, try this training pack. It lets you explore outside of any map in the game. Need a fun way to...
Guys, I see grand champs making this mistake where they go for the ball and all they do is this, they spin the whole time and they end up doing something like that.
Air roll isn't like one mechanic. Air roll is the combination of knowing how to fly like this, 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 and everywhere in between, right? So the first drill I recommend you do is just learning how to fly forward and backward and control your speed. Then sideways is going to be the next one. Then finally, once you get that, you start incorporating spins. Don't go straight into like just spinning like this because it's gonna be overwhelming and your brain's just gonna crumble. Air roll isn't like one mechanic. Air roll is the combination of knowing how to fly like this, 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 and everywhere in between, right? So the first drill I recommend you do is just learning how to fly forward and backward and control your speed. Then sideways is going to be the next one. Then finally, once you get that, you start incorporating spins. Don't go straight into like just spinning like this because it's going to be overwhelming and your brain's just gonna crumble. Air roll isn't like one mechanic. Air roll is the combination of knowing how to fly like this, 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 and everywhere in between, right? So the first drill I recommend you do is just learning how to fly forward and backward and control your speed. Then sideways is going to be the next one. Then finally, once you get that, you start incorporating spins. Don't go straight into like just spinning like this because it's going to be overwhelming and your brain's just gonna crumble. Air roll isn't like one mechanic. Air roll is the combination of knowing how to fly like this, knowing how to fly like this, knowing how to...
Easiest mechanics to learn for beginners. You won't believe the last one, the wave dash. Just press the jump button and then tilt backwards and let your back wheels hit the ground, and then do a forward jump. Easy peasy. The half flip. Just perform a back flip and push your left stick up halfway through the flip. This should make you land on your roof. On the next attempt, try pressing the air roll right or left button after pushing the left stick up. This should turn you over and make you land on the wheels. It's easy when you get the hang of it. Dribbling. For console users, go into free play and practice carrying the ball from one side of the field to the other without dropping it. Once you have got the hang of that, try flicking the ball into the goal from the midfield. For PC players, you can use this workshop map for practice. This is a fundamental technique that stands as the very bedrock for swift rank advancement, and this is the most basic one. But you need to learn how to quad reset. It will help you so much, ha ha ha. Easy.
Just saying, if you don't hit something good, I'm reporting you. Oh shit. Chat, hold on.
Changes. Wrote a song about that, you should play it. I get scared when I walk in these stages. I look at the crowd and see so many faces. Yeah, that's when I start to get anxious. That's when my thoughts can be dangerous. That's when I put on my makeup and drown in some hatred. Forget what I'm saying and here we go.
Just saying, if you don't hit something good, I'm reporting you.
I am currently wearing the blue Fennec.
One of these guys is US, let's figure out who it is.
I'm going to try to trick Wavy into thinking I am the diamond.
Show me your best play. And let's start with the Fennec over here.
So for this video, I'm actually going to...
I made a video talking about how a bunch of people were screenshotting my face when I looked really ugly and making it their profile picture. But after I posted that, everyone in the comments on that video did the same thing. Except now, they're editing my face to make me look even more ugly. So now, I'm just gonna wear a hat and not show any emotion in my videos to make sure there's no way you can get...
When I have kids, I'm gonna be so dramatic describing what COVID was like to them. I'm literally gonna make it sound like I lived through an apocalypse, because just the other day, I was talking to my friend's little brother, who's maybe 6 years old. So he doesn't really have any memory of COVID, but we were talking about that time, and I am not kidding when I tell you, I made it sound like a horror movie. I was like, people were passing away left and right. We were locked in our houses for days, weeks, months. But the most funny part was when I said to him, you couldn't even buy toilet paper. Because then he was like, well, what'd you use instead? And I just said, anything we could find. Napkins, towels, pets. I was being as dramatic as possible. Meanwhile, all I actually did during the pandemic was clock 9 hours a day on Fortnite. I even miss that era sometimes, but I'm never gonna let the future generations know that. When I have kids, I'm gonna be so dramatic describing what COVID was like to them. I'm literally gonna make it sound like I lived through an apocalypse, because just the other day, I was talking to my friend's little brother, who's maybe 6 years old. So he doesn't really have any memory of COVID, but we were talking about that time, and I am not kidding when I tell you, I made it sound like a horror movie. I was like, people were passing away left and right. We were locked in our houses for days.
Nobody talks about the difference between having a friend versus a best friend. Because with someone who's just a friend, you're never your full self around them. You've always got a little bit of a filter. Like, I've got people I would consider friends that I'm still scared to fart in front of. I'm just not comfortable enough to do it around them yet. I would just squeeze it back up every time I felt the urge. But with a best friend, it's way different. You'll never sugarcoat anything. If they're wearing an outfit that sucks, you're gonna let him know. You're just way more comfortable around each other. And my best friend from middle school wouldn't even ask me to come over when we were younger. I would just get home and he'd already be chilling in my room playing my PlayStation. I still don't forgive him for all the times he'd eat my food out of the fridge when I wasn't home. But he talks about the difference.
Yes? Yes? I gotta go. I need to go eat dinner. So I may stream later. Probably because it wasn't night. Oh my gosh. So I'll stream later probably. I don't know. Probably, maybe. I don't know. Alright, chat. I'll see everyone next live stream. Peace.